Good evening, everybody. Welcome to 5 Out Podcast. I'm your host, Giuseppe. I'm with Nick. I'm with Cameron. And on this podcast, we're talking about everything. Professional football, college sports, NCAA, basketball, football, the MLB, the NFL, the NBA. Whatever you want, we have it. NHL. We'll sprinkle in some Barclay Goodrow. But I'm with Nick. I'm with Cameron. I'm with our producer, Patrick. We got our cameraman, Oliver. And you're just jumping right into it. I just got to ask, Nick, how are you doing in fantasy?
You know, Pep, I'm not doing the best. I'm really not. I'm 4-5 right now. A lot of injuries on my team. You know, Brendan Ayuk tore his ACL. Stephon Diggs tore his ACL. Just a whole bunch of injuries. I've picked up 2 irrelevant wide receivers.
Yeah, I don't know why would you get Zach Ertz? He's not relevant, but just picking up Zach Ertz out of the blue.
No, I picked up Zach Ertz because Carlo let go of him because.
Oh yeah, he just
no, but Zach Ertz is a good tight end in that Commanders offense right now. So it was.
And then you dropped Kyle Pitts, or you didn't drop it, but
No,
you replaced him.
Yeah, I'm starting Zach Ertz this week. Kyle Pitts is way too inconsistent. He put up
30 last week, and then
he'll put up 30 one week, and then another week he'll put up 5 points, and it's just I can't deal with it.
Cammy, what about you?
I don't even follow that anymore. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm like 3-6 now, so I just like trade one of my players, but I got vetoed 3 times.
Oh yeah,
by,
I don't know what's going on. You could vote.
Why,
you could vote now in fantasy football about trades.
If
Yeah,
you
I
don't want
saw
him, I'll
that.
take him. I don't care. I'll just get anyone on my team.
It's my time, but I'm
Wait, who are you playing this week?
I think I play you,
Really?
or I play Carlo, and then I play
No,
you next
I
week.
play Cameron.
Oh, yeah.
I play.
Yeah, I
Cameron
play
next
because
week.
it resets the league.
Yeah.
But I'm doing horrible. I'm tanking. What about you, Patrick? You could. I know you're dying.
I'm 5-4. I'm better than I was at the beginning. I was on a very bad losing streak. I didn't think I was gonna do good. I had a good team on paper. I had the best team out of the draft.
Yeah, and you
But,
said I had the second, and I'm like 3.
And now well, we have people that just don't check the league. Like people like Nico and Sal, they just don't check the league at
don't.
all. Nico
Yeah.
and Salvo. Like Salvo's 1-8.
They're free wins.
3 of his players are injured.
Yeah.
Like, put some effort, dude.
I was in Disney World for the entire time of the draft, so I auto drafted. So that's why my team is very bad.
Well, Vito, my brother, he auto drafted and he's undefeated right now.
I know.
Or he's 9-1. He's 8-1.
No, he's 6-3 because he's
Really, he
beat
lost
me.
3?
Yeah.
'Cause I know I beat him.
Yeah, he beat me.
But yeah, Vito can't win, bro. But speaking of NFL, Nick, who are you guys' like standouts for the week? For me, I'll go first because I think you already know Garrett Wilson. I mean, the greatest catch, maybe in definitely Jet history, but honestly, I could say it's the greatest catch in NFL history. And it's on the NFL. It's prime time. It's Halloween. You got 10 million people watching, and same place as Odell, but I feel like I don't know. It was just a great catch. People are gonna do that now. The G5. That's what I call it.
That's really not really.
That doesn't sound good.
But I was really impressed with Bryce Young this week. I'm a firm believer of It's not Bryce Young's fault. It's the Carolina Panthers.
It's a horrible organization.
They have no weapons for Bryce Young. The coaching staff was terrible last year. Part of the reason they went 2-15.
So like Cade Cunningham?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
know
it's
that.
like the Detroit Pistons. Like the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
Like terrible all around. If they go, I'm hoping they go like 5-12 this year, and they clear out the entire building, like every coach. They fire all the janitors because they're probably affecting it in some way.
They have a family fee, right? They don't get paid $2 million a year.
Yeah, well,
Come on,
whatever.
That's not.
But I was very upset when they benched Bryce Young for Andy Dalton.
And the Red Rocket.
Well, he's like, what is he, 33? He got
the
them
greatest
that one.
Bengals quarterback of all time.
He's not. He got them that one win against the Raiders, and everyone was like, oh wow, like maybe it was Bryce Young's fault. But then he went on like a 5-6 game losing streak. So
Yeah, I
it's
mean-
really.
The thing is, it's what people do is they start their quarter like. People get the impression that people, even in the NBA, Cameron. Well, maybe not. So, the reason busts happen is because the team you have no weapons. You give them no weapons, like Anthony Bennett. You gave him nothing on that Cavs
All right,
team.
but still, he's
Yeah, but
not
he was
the
bad.
first
But
pick.
he was bad. But whatever. You can't just draft a especially in the NFL because you're a boy coming into a man's league. And you're ready to pounce. The men are ready to pounce.
So no.
But you can't just start a rookie quarterback. Like even Tom, everyone's saying it. I've been saying this since day 2. I mean day 1.
Day 2.
All right, bro. I don't know. You're just nitpicking at this point.
Like the Jets. That's basically the Jets' whole move. They draft a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
And they expect him to be
With
a
no
savior.
weapon. Yeah, but you can't just. Bryce Young is not the problem in Carolina. If anything, it's the owner. though might be. I don't know if you don't follow soccer, right?
No.
But
no.
tons of owners are like that in soccer. They just have the team or the Oakland Athletics. You've definitely
Yeah.
just like that. They're just there for the money, and they're not even making a lot of money. But whatever, it's Bryce Young. You can't just start a rookie quarterback and expect him to be the next Tom Brady. That happens, but when's the last time that's happened? And it's oh wow, this is the franchise guy.
I mean, you see this with Jaden Daniels now. You
Yeah.
see him excelling in this Commanders offense. But I'm going to tell you why he's excelling. This is because they took something that he did in LSU that when I saw this, I was really impressed. In LSU, Jaden Daniels, he used VR training.
Yeah.
He hears his Commanders coach telling him to play in the VR headset, and this is what he did in LSU. That's why he's excelling so much in this Commanders offense, not just because of the weapons or the decent defense they have. It's because they're adjusting to his specialties. This is what he did in LSU, so it's going to work in the NFL. You see someone like Zach Wilson, let's say. Jets draft him in 2021. He came from Baylor.
No, I think it was BYU.
BYU, that's what I meant. He comes from BYU, where he has an amazing offensive line. And the type of player Zach Wilson is, he's a player that likes to sit in the pocket and he likes to throw the deep ball.
And you can't do that on the Jets.
You can't. They had a terrible offensive line.
You can't do that anywhere. But you think you could do it on the Jets?
You can do it on the.
You could do it on
some
the
teams.
Chiefs, but especially on the Jets is the worst. I've had the worst consistent O line
Yeah.
for. When was my dad born? 1970. Since then, I mean, since not even Vinny Testaverde. I'm going to since the guy who sold his soul. I can't even. Joe Namath. Since that, you haven't had a good O line. Maybe not since then, but you haven't had a good O line in years. I remember last year when we had him, we just were injury riddled with Aaron Rodgers. But then our center got injured. Three of our centers got injured. Our right tackles were injured, and our defense is great. We're always known to have the best D line in the league, and we just have a horrible O line and we have horrible offense. It's either one or the other, but it's never the O line doing good.
But with that defense, like you just said, you've had a great defense. I think the firing of Robert Saleh
That was the worst
in
move
the
I've
middle
ever.
of the season has put so much pressure on how do you pronounce his last name? Ulbrich?
Ulbrich.
Ulbrich. That puts so much pressure on Ulbrich that now he's juggling the offense and the defense. He's just been working with the defense for years.
I get why they would. I mean, I don't get why firing Saleh, but if they were to fire him, I understand why you'd put him at interim. He's been the coach for 7 years, maybe 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
He's been a part of the organization, but hire someone new. And first of all, you already fired your head coach mid-season. That kills the moral. That kills everything. Kills the fan. Like fans aren't going to show up, even though they sell out MetLife They still sell out MetLife. I think, right?
I don't know.
Jets sell out like 60.
My dad doesn't go to those games anymore.
Yeah, people stop buying seats.
My dad sold the season ticket.
Like people don't buy it anymore. They just don't buy it anymore. But back to what I was saying. Back to Zach. Let's go back to Zach Wilson because now we're getting off. But Zach, you can't just have a rookie quarterback and expect him to do good, like we were just saying before, because they're not ready. They might not even be ready physically. They might not be ready mentally. It's not easy playing in the NFL, let alone any professional league. It's just not easy to do that, and then you put it all on his shoulders. And he's 22. He's going to have off and on weeks as a quarterback. That's like putting. Like when you play football or whatever sport you played, I'm sure you didn't. I'm sure you had good games and I'm sure you had bad games. You're not consistent. You were 11. Like you're. I feel like you need consistency. It's great if they have it young, but you can't just expect a rookie to have consistency like that.
No, yeah.
Like obviously Bryce Young, he's on the Panthers. Of course, he's just gonna have a bad year. It's the Panthers.
Panthers have like a history of ruining quarterbacks and we've seen that in this day and age. We've seen this season. This is because who remembers Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold that were both on the Carolina Panthers at the exact same time?
Yeah, that was.
They're now.
Well, Sam Darnold wasn't established. It was the Jets' fault.
He got
had a bad
drafted
rep.
by
Yeah.
the Jets, and then he went to the Panthers. So they're two of the worst teams besides Chicago that you can go to as a rookie quarterback. And now Sam Darnold is excelling in Minnesota.
He's doing great. I have him on my fantasy team. Speaking of fantasy, the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. What?
That's the best name ever.
It's really not.
That's clever. That's a clever name.
The worst fantasy
That's a
name.
clever
Really
name.
It's the worst
my-
fantasy name I've ever seen.
My dad liked it, and I don't know.
It's your dad. He's like. What is
I
he,
was
54?
clever. That was clever.
That was not
really
clever.
wasn't.
That
It
was
wasn't clever.
terrible.
That's my nickname, and that's
No one,
that's a
no one
good
calls you
name.
Pep.
It's
No one
Pep.
calls you the Red Hot Chili Pep.
It's Pep.
Pep.
It's not
It's
Pep.
just Pep.
It's just Pep.
All right, whatever. But back to Sam Darnold. But yeah, Sam Darnold's doing good. I have him on fantasy. I benched him, but now
Why?
I benched Bryce Young. Not Bryce Young. C.J. Stroud. Speaking of rookie quarterbacks, speaking of disappointments and surprises and disappointments, my disappointment of the week was C.J. Stroud against the Jets defense on Halloween. But I just didn't think he had a good week. He put up 8 points. The past 2 weeks, he put up like negative points last week, and now he put up 8 points against the Jets. I don't think he had a touchdown pass. I think they handed off the pass
No,
against the
he
Jets.
didn't have a touchdown pass.
He did, yeah.
No, he didn't. Yeah, I think he handed the ball.
He handed it to.
Yeah, I think he handed the ball off to Joe Mixon because I got. Yeah, he handed the ball off to Joe Mixon because I got the points at fantasy when we were after
Yeah.
those.
But talking about the NFL, let's keep the subject on football. What do you think about the college football rankings? The top 12.
Top 12.
Yeah, Oregon at number 1. Who is like your disappointment team?
Disappointment team. I'm gonna have to go with Alabama.
I'm gonna have to go with Michigan.
That's another team.
I mean, Alabama's like just they're
Alabama's
not
just-
what they were.
They're not what they were. Alabama has had a history of being this amazing team. They work wonders with quarterbacks really in their scheme, but we see when those quarterbacks go to the NFL, it doesn't really translate well. We see that in Bryce Young. We see that in not even Jalen Hurts. He's under. We see that in Tua.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. They lost to Vanderbilt, and who else did they lose to?
I think I know it was a good school. I forgot who they did lose to. I think it was Vanderbilt. I know they lost to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
What, do they have 3 losses?
No, they have 2. They're 6-2 right now.
Yeah.
they're ranked 11th.
Well, yeah, it's the SEC. They I think they have a lot of conference wins. But
They definitely have a lot of conference wins. I don't follow college as much, but I do know that they have a decent amount.
SEC ball. But SEC is the hardest conference. So you got if you get 4. But back to what I was saying, I think it's a lack of discipline for Alabama.
Yeah.
If we're gonna talk about college, I think you could tell like when they were losing against Vanderbilt, and they scored a touchdown and the whole team celebrating like they just won.
You can't do that.
That and. Even the broadcast were like, yeah, what's going on? Saban would never allow this. People on social media were like, yeah, Saban would never allow this because he would never. They were all celebrating, like they just like it's the locker room. Like you don't sell it. First of all, if I'm a football coach and I see that happening, everyone's running. Even if no matter what, if I see my players celebrating, everyone's running. Like if there's still time left in the game,
celebrate.
everyone's running. I don't
After
care.
a touchdown, you don't.
Well, doesn't everyone celebrate?
Yeah, but like excessive. If you're gonna excessive celebrate like that, everyone's running.
I celebrated when I used to play
Yeah, but,
at St. Joe's.
yeah. I bet Eric made you run.
Eric
you-
did not.
I bet Eric.
You don't sound like you'd be a good coach. I feel like the team morale would go all
Yeah,
the
it
way.
would
Like
go-
if you're
No,
just gonna like make them run whenever they
they're gonna
get
Sign it
respect.
to
excited.
Retro
They're
Bowl.
gonna respect me.
We learned this in Retro
I have
Bowl, what
3.
happened.
I have 3 national championships with the Raging Cajuns on CF on
I don't.
That's good,
You had a
right?
great
I have no
career
idea.
in college football.
nice CFB.
But no,
career.
but or whatever. You could celebrate. You could point to the sky but like the whole team celebrating and you're losing.
I get what you said
like
about that.
if it's the game-winning touchdown, you're up. It's a blowout. Don't celebrate if it's a blowout. But if you're taking the lead, I'll let you celebrate. But I think they get away with too much celebrations. Like first of all, that whole team. You're down to Vanderbilt. It's not like you're Wagner playing Rutgers and you scored and Wagner scored a touchdown. That's obviously a great moment. You're Alabama. You're the historic greatest program in college football history. I think
Definitely.
we could say that.
Either that or
UCL,
Auburn.
I don't know.
We'll talk about we're talking basketball in a second.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
But they get too cocky with the celebration. Like you could see against the Jets when he dropped it on the 1-yard line.
Oh yeah, Malachi Corley.
That almost lost us the game. But what I was trying to say about everyone's running, if you're celebrating like that and we're losing or the game's tied, and there's 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, everyone's running.
Everyone?
Even the fans are running, bro.
Shut up. What you said about Michigan, though, I do
Yeah,
very
well-
much agree with you on that because I'm gonna say this. I think it's not even a loss of J.J. McCarthy.
It's a loss of your coach.
It's the loss of your coach. It's the loss of Joe Harbaugh, or is it Jim Harbaugh?
Jim.
It's Jim Harbaugh.
Casual.
He is a brother. It's the loss of Jim Harbaugh. He's an offensive mastermind. He's a coach mastermind. You saw what he did with the 49ers in his NFL days, and now that when he was with Michigan, they went undefeated. He's an amazing head coach. And now you see with the Los Angeles Chargers now, who he is now coaching for, you see that they're now 5-3.
Yeah, they're doing really good for the Chargers.
Really good, and the Chargers have not been a good team for years now, even with their top 5 quarterback
Who do
in
they
Justin
have?
Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
No, like the team, like wide receivers. Like
They had who's the Chargers like
Oh, I have no
offensive
clue. They
weapons?
got
I don't watch
everyone.
I confuse them with the Rams, bro. I think they had like Puka
Yeah.
and all that.
I know,
the
Rams-
Chargers did clear out shop. They got rid of Keenan Allen left on his own, but
Keenan, he deserved to leave.
yeah, I
Come
don't
on, your team sucks.
Yeah, especially that hairline.
So we're clever now. So we chime in.
That's
But-
the only thing I know.
But yeah. Well, back Alabama lost to Tennessee. I just looked it up. But let's go down the line of standings. You have Oregon at ranked number 1, which I think is fair. They're 9-0. I think they're going to win the Natty. Georgia's second and 7-1.
Yeah.
Ohio State 7-1. Miami's 9-0. Miami,
Can
Florida.
I just say that Miami should be ranked number 2? Can I just say that they've done amazing?
I mean, they're in the ACC. Georgia's an SEC, and
I don't care.
all right.
I don't care. They've done amazing this entire year. They have probably the first overall draft pick.
Ohio's a
year
Big
for
Ten.
Ward.
Big Ten's really hard.
What
Well,
about
Michigan's
boys?
last in the Big Ten.
What about Boise State with that running
Boise
back?
State.
We say
Oh,
Ashton
that's
Jennings.
I actually want them to make the playoffs.
Me too.
I think they're a Rocky Mountain, no, Mountain West. Yeah, it's Mountain West. I love seeing Mountain West succeed. Like I like niche like players. I like obscure stuff.
Do you now? You like obscure
But, like,
stuff?
Don't
I like
wink at me.
I like when the bad teams do good, or
Me too.
from a smaller conference, from Mountain West. You never see that. Like I loved it when Wagner made March Madness. That was amazing, especially from
I said
Staten
you love
Island.
Staten Island.
Shut up, bro.
What did you say to me?
Shut up.
Okay.
By the way, we are. I forgot to mention this in the intro. We are here at Monsignor Farrell. Thank you to Monsignor Farrell Media and Broadcasting Club for letting us do this. They're covering all this stuff. So thank you to Mr. Kennedy. He's not here, but
How is Wyoming above New Mexico when they're 2-7?
conference. Oh wait, I don't know.
That's really dumb.
But yeah, honestly, let's go back to the rankings. I love seeing Boise State in there. And then you have Texas 7-1, which they were number 1 at the
for a little
beginning.
bit.
Then you have Indiana 9-0, which I guess I don't know. And then BYU is 8-0. Notre Dame's number 10. Patty, Notre Dame.
Yeah, I like
Notre Dame. It's not
Yeah,
Notre
shut
Dame.
up.
Can you
bro.
pronounce?
I could fill your seat. It's
Yeah,
okay.
sorry.
You're easily
You
replaceable.
can just go behind the camera. We don't need you. We just want you. Then you have Alabama 6-2. Then Boise State, number 12, 7-1.
Why do you say it like
And then
You're replaceable too.
number 9?
got leave.
What?
Oh,
What'd you say?
not too niche.
I don't.
What?
Bro, what do you?
He likes
talking
obscure stuff.
I like obscure stuff. But yeah, we're talking about college football right now. Whatever. Who's your this because I said my disappointment and my standout. Who's your disappointment for this week?
I'm go- You know, I was split between C.J. Stroud and Dak Prescott, but when you said C.J. Stroud, now
Yeah.
I can talk about Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott has never been this quarterback that I considered a top 10 quarterback. Dak Prescott is probably the most system quarterback in the
Yeah.
league. He has amazing weapons around him. He has CeeDee Lamb. Actually, that's really it. That's honestly really who did they trade for? What is his name? Like Jingo?
Yeah.
The stupid wide receiver that they gave up so much for. But he's the type of quarterback you see like the what's it? I can't think of the name. The Jumbotron. You see him talking about his team. I can't say the words that he said, but
Yeah.
he used some profanity in there to say that his team is very bad.
Yeah.
As the quarterback, you can't be saying that about your team. You're supposed to be uplifting. You're supposed to be uplifting your team. If
You got to be a leader.
if you're a linebacker, you can't start yelling at the D line because that's not your position. You don't know what they have
Too
to
many
do.
Chiefs, not enough Indians.
What?
Too many Chiefs, not enough
What?
Indians.
What?
Too many Chiefs, like
What
too
are you
many
talking
Yo,
about?
leaders,
Yo.
not enough members.
Yo, just enough. Just enough. That's
trying
all
to be
right.
smart here.
Stop.
I get it, bro. You know phrases.
So dumb.
You know
just
sayings.
mute me, bro.
Like, where do you find this, bro?
But
You're
in
done.
in Dak Prescott, you see he's thrown. You see him throw these.
Jump off if you
blind-
want. That's what he said.
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
yeah, yeah.
He did.
he said that right
I
after he
it-
sold me in fantasy.
Yeah, I think it was the loss of the 49 or
It was I think it was only the Commanders, right?
Weren't
No,
they
they
like
didn't
1
play
and
the
2 or
Commanders yet.
something? Like 1 and 3? when he
Yeah,
said
they
that?
were like 1-3. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was their like first like big loss.
Yeah.
The Dallas loss.
yeah. But yeah, this team with Dak Prescott, he's done nothing but complain this entire time. He's been talking about, oh, jump off if you want. Like, you don't say that. You're supposed to ignore a fan if they're
Yeah.
yelling that at you. If I'm yelling at, like, Josh Allen and telling him that he sucks, he doesn't suck. I'm just a Dolphins fan.
Yeah,
and I don't like
you're
that
just
he beats my
you're
team.
just the enemy, right?
You're just the enemy. You don't tell your fan to jump off a bridge. That's not what you do. And in this team, you can't go out and lose these games that you have to win. You're now 3-5. You can't lose to the Atlanta Falcons. This Atlanta Falcons team is now 6-3. They are most definitely winning that division, and they're going to the playoffs. This loss for this Dallas team has now solidified that this team, it's not going to the playoffs this year.
Yeah,
It's going to be the Commanders winning this division, and it's going to be the Eagles.
I think instead of the Dallas standard, Dallas losing in the first round of the playoffs in the conference finals of the conference round in the divisional round, I think it's just going to be them missing the playoffs. I don't see them.
I'd rather that.
I mean, it's fun to poke fun at them, but like who's going to be? I'd rather them make it because who's going to be the punching bag?
But shut up.
What's so
But
funny?
It all boils down to one person that controls that entire team, and that's Jerry Jones.
Yeah, that might be the most like pride-ridden
Yeah.
owner. He's too all right, bro, we get it. You have
You're old.
You're old. You live on a yacht. You make a lot of money. You're the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Like I don't know.
Whatever.
Like and then he just burns a lot of bridges with a lot of coaches. Like he's like one in the '80s when Dallas was actually good. The coach left not because he thought he won enough with 4 Super Bowls. If you're a coach, you want more. He was young. He was like I think 40. He wasn't old.
No, he wasn't old.
And then and then he was like he fired him. You don't know why? Or he didn't sign a new contract because Jerry Jones was like, hey, you're not crediting the owner enough. That's that's
he's
the
winning.
stupidest
Nah,
thing.
that's actually so stupid.
And they haven't been back to the.
And that was Dallas's best team. And you know what? Remember when they did the ring ceremony on Monday Night Football like 2 years ago, or like that big like retiring of the numbers, and the coach came out? That hasn't been done in years. That's so long overdue because Jerry Jones is just. I don't
old.
want to say greedy. I mean, you can't be greedy and an owner of a sports team.
I
Oakland
don't
Athletics.
even mind that he's a type of person that he just kidding, that he wants this team. Oh yeah, you want your team to do well, but you have to learn. You have to learn that it's time to hang up the cleats. You are way too old to be making these decisions.
Yeah, you're 90 years old. Did he
I
play
think he's
professional
90.
or he was just a businessman?
So he's like
Nah,
Joe
I
Biden.
think he's just a.
Joe
Yeah.
Biden.
He is
NFL.
basically like Joe Byron.
Picture your not even picture your great grandpa having basically
Picture
a
Lenny
trillion.
Balzano doing
Alright.
that.
Yeah.
Think of the
Alright.
champ.
I'm the champion.
I'm the champion.
And then whatever, Jerry Jones, he's too cocky. And then that Dallas is just so he's embarrassing when he speaks about it. It's just an embarrassing like team.
But his son has been trying to get him to retire for years now.
I mean, people don't like retire. I mean, it's like
But he has some good plans for this team. Like he hasn't gone on air and talked about it to my knowledge, but he's young. He's gonna help this team more than Jerry Jones can now because he's old. He doesn't know what he's doing anymore. He's an old head. He doesn't realize that there are things in this day and age that you can't do. This day and age, it's more focused on the past, and he's running the ball with Ezekiel Elliott, who is also old and washed. You can't be doing these things. You have to learn when it's time. That times have changed, and that you just have to let things go.
what separates a good NFL, a bad NFL team, a good NFL team, and a great NFL franchise, team, is good player. Well, good players, they're already the top 1%. They're the best football player, best athletes in the world. So forget about good players.
Oh, yeah.
It
That's
comes from
debatable.
No,
not like
it is.
no.
we're not getting into this, Cameron.
I shouldn't say athletes. The best football players in the world.
Athletes.
Playing in.
Yo.
Athletes.
No,
You say you don't want to start it, bro.
Athletes.
Yeah,
Athletes.
you're like whatever. They're the best American football players in the world. some would say best athletes, but you also have like kickers and punters make up a good.
yeah.
And then you have linemen and then
Best athlete in the world is Bo Jackson.
Who?
yeah, and he
I
played
have no
football.
idea
Bo
And
Jackson.
I have no idea who that is.
Bo Jackson.
but he was the guy who
You
played.
saying his name 4 times to make me know who he
Is
is.
he the guy from the Family Guy cutaway?
Yeah,
yeah,
when
yeah.
they're playing NES.
That's-
Corner three, not corner three.
No,
but-
not-
That's the same episode though.
Yeah.
you can't keep running with Bo Jackson.
Speaking of niche, I'm a big family. Just to let I'm a big Family Guy. So you
Shut
could
up.
like
If we had our soundboard,
yeah,
it would make that clear.
I'm a big like I know all the cut like name like an episode. I'll give you a cutaway.
This isn't the Family Guy
The
podcast.
one,
we're
with
not-
the Italian dog, where he's like, got it, Stewie.
It wasn't a
You need-
big cutaway
you need-
episode.
you
It
need
was
to
more of a
steal
big skit episode. So.
something.
But back to the best athlete. Yeah, what makes a good NFL team is a good staff and good coaches, good coordinator, good head coach, and then you have that, and then you know what makes a great NFL team? A good front office. Because Dallas has all of these, but a good front office. I mean, you could debate about the players all you want. They have coaches, and they have a horrible front office.
I mean,
Same thing
Dak-
with the Jets. They have good staff, good players, and then you have a horrible front office.
no, they don't. They don't have players.
Aaron Rodgers,
Aaron Rodgers
third
is
best
40 years old.
second best quarterback of all time.
Are you stupid? Like, are you actually dumb?
He's the second best quarterback of all time.
That's no, that's
Who-
Joe
who's
Montana.
first?
All right, you're gonna bring
Thomas
in
Brady.
the '80s.
Yeah, I
player.
had Thomas
Thomas
Brady,
Brady.
but
It goes Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and then
No, it
whoever.
doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
Are you what?
Why would Joe Montana be the second?
Because he won 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers was the Packers were literally the second best team every year. Like they always made it. It's not like
But they never finished.
I
They
didn't know
never
that was
finished the job.
second best team in the NFL so much.
Yeah.
Like,
No
why
one
don't
cares
we
about the
second?
second best team. They want the best team. Why do you think no one talks about the 49ers? They talk about the Kansas City Chiefs because they're the best team. The 49ers were the second best team. No one cares about them anymore.
you're on camera. Look at your lips like that.
my lips
that's
are
all.
chapped.
That's all.
My lips
that's
are
all
chapped.
on camera.
My lips
You
are
could have done
chapped.
it a little more discreet. You didn't
now
have to be like-
everyone's on me.
Wait, Pat. Wait, I have something for you.
Oh my god.
You want chapstick?
All right, bro.
You can have some. It's all right.
Just do it, bro. Yo,
Pick it up.
right.
That was
That was
really
mean.
Yo,
That was
take
very
this kid
mean.
off the podcast.
Well, you're replaceable. I just,
You're
once
very
again, I
replaceable.
want to let you know that.
I'm
All right,
gonna
well,
put some on.
we're talking.
we can just cut
Matter
that.
of fact,
No, we're not cutting that. I'm
not
sure
cutting
they
that
would
out.
all like to see me sitting in that chair. So
show his true colors.
All right, so we talked about the NFL. I guess no one thinks Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback, but whatever.
I don't know. enough
he was
about
good
him.
in his prime, not anymore.
Can I say the top 5?
Yeah.
Top 5 goes Tom Brady.
At 5? Oh, no, in no particular order, or like.
No, first to 5.
Okay.
It goes Tom Brady, then it goes Joe Montana. What?
Bro, what?
Can you be nice?
Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning.
No, why are you doing that though?
You're first on the list. When I get this soundboard, you
my
can't
list.
speak, bro.
This is my list.
Then like write it like instead of
We
doing
don't have
this.
paper.
4th, then goes Aaron Rodgers. He's 4th, and then 5th is Dan Marino.
Wow, I
Wait,
could play
who?
the
Who's
naming.
fifth?
Dan Marino.
He was
Well, I'm
Where's-
not gonna lie, I've never heard him in my life.
Best
No,
Dolphins quarterback.
No, he's a really
of all
good quarterback.
Oh,
He
yeah,
played
I
for the
know he's on
Dolphins.
the Dolphins.
He was in like he's like a 70s. Played in the 70s.
time. He was
Where's,
amazing.
exactly.
where's Patrick Mahomes on this
He's
list?
young, bro.
Wait, he's like,
There's a
he's
reason
like
that people
7.
say that was a little Mahomey.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I could
it's
see
'cause
Patrick.
Oh.
No, honestly, I think if they three-peat, I think Patrick Mahomes is in that top 5.
Zach Wilson is number 1. Then goes Tua Tagovailoa.
man. Nick, I'm funny and stupid.
You mean Funyan?
All right, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have Funyan.
You know, whatever.
I'm
Funyan.
finna get bullied for this podcast because of you, bro. Like why?
Yeah,
am
really,
I
I hate you.
What the hell is that?
I'm the host. Whatever, but I could see Pat if they three-peat, Pat Mahomes can make it. But we've talked football. I'm sure we've chewed all your ears off about the NFL and college football and Dan Marino and Patrick Licata.
Patrick, look at him back there.
When's the Barclay Goodrow segment?
Yeah, we'll sprinkle in some NHL. Don't worry. I know. Yeah,
Who is that?
So you know how the Rangers were in the playoffs last year?
Yeah.
He scored like 2-3 overtime goals.
He's like the best.
He's a beast.
He
He's a
did
beast.
more in those playoffs than probably like their top 3 players did.
Damn.
Well,
He doesn't
Shut
watch.
up.
He doesn't watch hockey at all.
he's my favorite. He's my greatest player of all time.
Remember when we were in Hershey and then we were watching the hockey game in the hotel room or like in the hotel like lobby with your parents?
Why
It
are you
was-
looking at me?
Cause this kid's an idiot. That's why.
This kid is an idiot. You don't think I know that?
We were in her. All right, whatever. This kid. that's-
Be nice. Talk about basketball with Cameron.
Dick. Whatever. We talked about football all we can. Cammy, I know you've been waiting. I can tell by your face.
Yeah, I have
Hey,
no
Cameron.
idea. I have nothing to talk about for the NFL.
So we're going to talk about the NBA, and
No,
with the NBA,
Kid ruined it.
Damian Lillard and Giannis, they're starting off 1-6. What do you
Yeah,
guys?
they're
I've
both
talked.
playing good.
What do you think about that? Why do you think that's happening?
Washed, old. That's really it. That's the only two things that make him ask. Because, what's it called? Dame, he's pretty good, but he's just getting old and not athletic. Giannis is just like,
Giannis is getting there. I think he's 33 now.
Giannis?
he's carrying them so much. It's crazy.
What kind of
Well,
name is Giannis?
Cameron, yeah,
But they also don't have Chris Middleton.
they don't have Christmas. They don't have the role players. They're lacking depth. Speaking of lacking depth, let me talk about the Bucks. I mean, they're putting up 70. They put up a combined 70 points against the Cavaliers, and they
And
came
they
up 1
lost.
point short. So I don't know what's short. I don't know what's going on with them, but I don't know. Well, speaking of they're having a really not even like a Knicks 3. They have 1 win. They are having
one. No, one
Uh-oh.
win is crazy.
Oh no.
They're
Wait,
having.
what's the win against? What team?
I
forget.
I'm gonna check right now. Sorry, I'm professional, but I think they play I know they play the Jazz tonight, so hopefully they could get their win.
If they don't win this game, then people.
They won
really-
opening night. They won opening week against the Sixers. The Sixers. It was the primetime game.
Yeah.
And then I'll go down there. I have their schedule up right now. So they beat the Six. They open up the season against the Bucks, and you're 1-0. That's great.
Yeah.
The Sixers are falling off too.
Without Joel Embiid and
Yeah.
Paul George. Also, Tyrese Maxey just got injured too.
Yeah. So
And
I don't
also,
know.
he's underperformed because
Yeah.
they gave him the
Supermax.
every shot that he wants, he got, and then he just bricked basically everyone.
Yeah. So let's go down to even with the Sixers. The Sixers are having, I wouldn't say a slow start, but I don't know what's going on with them.
I mean, it kind of is a slow start because you have Tyrese Maxey not playing too well,
Yeah.
and then the rest of the role players are doing okay, but what's his name? I can't think of his name. Kyle Lowry, bro, he's too old to play basketball.
Yeah.
He should just retire. They just have a couple of players who can really contribute, but they kind of have to play him.
Yeah. So then you lose to Chicago, which is all right.
Chicago's actually been pretty decent.
Yeah,
this season.
Chicago's doing good. The season's still young. No one
Zach
quits
LaVine-
when you're 1-1.
Zach LaVine's trying to get traded.
The
Yeah.
Bears.
Uh,
Sorry.
What are you talking about?
The Bulls. Do
No,
they say
like
doubles like they did for
No,
doubles?
no, bro.
They don't. Bro, I'm not from Chicago. Remember that girl that I showed your album?
She's from Chicago. Da Bears.
The Bears.
Da Bears.
My uncle likes the Bears.
I don't care.
Uncle Louie.
Uncle Louie.
But whatever. Talking about basketball. Enough.
Sorry.
You
all right,
too.
bro.
But whatever. The Bulls are doing good. I understand. Sorry. Chicago is 3-5. Then you lose to the Nets, which I know you're ecstatic about.
Yeah. Not really, because
Now you want Cooper Flag. I don't know if you'd want to win with a mediocre team or
I'd
build
rather
a
them.
franchise.
I'd rather them go lose every single game of the season than go 40 and 42.
Yeah, make the
because
plans.
then you're
and
not
then-
getting anywhere.
Yeah, you
by
go
being
to the
the
plans,
9
then you
seed.
get rid of your lottery pick. Then they
So,
lose to the Celtics.
I mean, honestly, we might not have to worry about that with the Bucks pick.
yeah, that's
also,
true.
the Knicks. Not gonna lie,
All
there.
right, bro.
Below
We'll get to them
500 they're
later. We'll
below
get to them
500
later.
right
We'll
now.
get to them later. And then
All right.
you lose to the Celtics, which, all right, they're the best
team in the NBA.
So at this
but they
point,
did lose to Golden State.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just a matchup where every time the Celtics play the Warriors, it's almost like a curse where
Yeah.
they kind of have to lose to them just because they lost in the finals.
yeah. So you're 4 games in, and you're already below 500, which nothing to worry about. The season's season's still
But
young.
every game that they lose, the pressure just keeps adding on
Yeah.
and adding on.
And then you play on Halloween. I think this is where the turning point was, the actual end of the season.
Yeah, a 3-4 game loss is
You
you're
lose to the Memphis Grizzlies 122-99.
Mm-hmm.
Now I like the Grizzlies. I don't think they're a horrible franchise, but it's the Memphis Grizzlies, and you didn't even score 100.
Yeah.
I'm just curious I'll click on that. You have John Morant, Scottie Pippen Jr. and
Well, I actually saw something Scottie Pippen Jr., bro. He's actually doing so good.
he's
this
not doing
season.
horrible.
He's
Close Scottie
he's
Pippen
averaging
was dead.
12, 4, and 7 or something like that.
Or is that his son?
Yeah, it's
Scottie Pippen.
They
Pippen's
made another
son.
Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the other one
They
was
made 2 of them?
60.
Well,
didn't
no,
make
they made
two.
one. They made one, and then they gave birth to another one 30 years later.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
They're not
A lot of
cooking up Scottie Pippen to
celebrities
the
do
lab.
that.
They're not
Yeah,
like
but they don't
making
all
a
name
Scottie
their sons
Pippen
their
in the
name.
lab.
Oh,
Then you have Jake Rivera putting up 11, but you
Jake
don't
who?
even put.
Jake who? No one knows who that is.
Yeah, I don't.
I do, but he's
Yeah, I don't
nobody.
think the. And then you have Giannis. I'm reading off the stat card right now. You put up 37 and you still lose.
I believe
And
Dame put up like 4 that
Dame was
game.
nowhere to be found. Literally did not put. Yeah, he put up 4.
Yeah, he's hiding in the corner.
4, 2, 6, and 1. Had a negative 29 plus minus,
What was, did he have
and
any
shot
turnovers?
8% from the free.
Did he have any turnovers? That's all the way.
1 turnover, and you shot 8% from the field.
No, 8% is diabolical.
That's great. That's like middle school, and you're playing.
Not even
That's
that.
like CYO stats.
Not even that. It's like you're playing with like a hurt hand or something. Like you just don't shoot that bad,
Yeah.
unless there's like something going wrong. Because I don't think he even would have that performance on a bad night. Maybe just like something wrong with his mental or something.
But no, it clearly is not an injury because the next game they both put up 30 and 40,
Yes, I was thinking,
and then
that's
they
why I
lost
said
by
mental.
1. So maybe
It could be a
probably
mental
mental thing, or he's old, he's 38, and he had an off night. Like Damian Lillard's
Wait,
one of my.
I didn't know he's 38.
I don't know if he's that old.
No, I believe he's like 34.
I might have embellished that, but
Yeah,
I know he's
definitely not older than Curry.
he's not young.
How old is Curry?
Curry's like 37.
Oh my God, they play till they're that old.
Yeah, they don't get hurt. Like
This is why they're the best athletes.
LeBron
bro.
James is.
Yo,
Look,
no.
yo, LeBron at 40 just still has like a 40-inch vert, bro.
Bro, that's because he doesn't do anything. When he gets hurt, he falls down and he's out for like.
It's
8
different for basketball and football because the football,
Your body can't take that many hits.
yeah, like you're
Well, because you're not built for it.
if you're 40 and you're in
What?
the NFL, you either love the
You're not working
game
out to like.
or you have 12 kids to feed and you need the $1 million contract. Because you can't play till you're 40 in the NFL. That's rare.
Unless you're a quarterback.
Unless you're a quarterback or
You
like
really
a
only see
kicker
40
or a
around
punter. If you're a position player, not position, but if you're in a field like a lineman at 40,
you
like I don't know if you watched the Jason Kelsey documentary, but he's like missing like so many like.
No, yeah, he said after his retirement, his knees feel so much better after like a couple months.
Well, you're getting the crap beat out of you for 17 weeks out of the year. Maybe actually, I'll put like for the whole second half of the year because they start practicing in August. But yeah, it's different for NBA and longevity because a lot of NBA players, the good one, you got to be really good. I consider you're an NBA legend if you could play like Udonis Haslem like for 20 years. No matter like even if you average 10, 10, and 10, if you're playing 20 years in the NBA, I think you're a legend. I think or any sport.
I mean, I would say like a legend to
You're
basketball. He's not a legend to basketball. He's a legend to the team.
Yeah, to the
'cause
team. Like,
so
you're
many-
definitely-
So many people just like liked him because of who he was, not just like how he played.
I think he has he did a lot for the city. I think he has like a couple murals,
Yeah.
but that doesn't really matter.
DLK murals.
Yo, shut up. And then whatever.
Nah,
Explain it.
No, it's what we call like our friend group, like from St. Pat's. It's nothing like dirty.
Disgusting, bro.
It's
But whatever. And then he put 40, and then he put 36 the next game. And now you're 1-6. Now, like, what do you? I think it's because of Doc Rivers.
And
And
Doc Rivers, he said he doesn't care.
And-
And he said, "Oh, we're making the playoffs. How? How
What-
are you making the playoffs when you start 1-6? What are you gonna change?"
I mean, then it's only November.
I feel like he's saying this just because he doesn't know what to change, and he's just gonna hope and pray.
they know that the thing that
he can
needs to be
just, like,
changed is
he
him.
can
Like
just,
he's
like,
the
have
worst
his
coach.
players do good. I mean, you can't say he's like a.
He's not the
horrible-
worst,
You
but-
can't say he's a horrible coach because of like what he's accomplished, but recently he hasn't done anything. So I would say he's definitely not one of the best coaches in the NBA anymore, or he never really was. He was just like a mediocre one.
But yeah, if they're still like this by Christmas time, you gotta get rid of him.
Yeah,
And I know I was talking about.
their biggest mistake was firing Budenholzer.
Yeah,
Like, they won a championship with him, and then like the year later they made it to like the first. They got kicked out the first round because Giannis was injured. So I feel like there's no reason to fire him, especially since there's no.
Yeah, that
other
was
coaches.
definitely.
And also, what's his name? Like their coach from last year, they started the season 30-13, and then they decided to fire him. There's no reason to fire him like that unless like everyone just hated him.
Yeah,
Like, and then you sign Doc Rivers, and then like the whole team it's terrible.
yeah. But if it's still like this by Christmas, you gotta go. And I know I was talking about you can't fire your coach mid-season, but that's the NFL. The NBA is a really long season.
The NBA,
It's 80 games. I could go through 3 coaches during the NBA. Not 3, but
it's so much more normal for a coach to be fired mid-season.
yeah.
Like, what's it called?
Maybe not this early. By January,
no,
he's gonna be out.
By New Year's, coaches are fired if the teams are underperforming. And like last year, I think like a couple teams, what's it called? They fired their coaches, like the Nets,
Yeah.
Bucks. I don't know, the Hawks. Maybe not last year, but like the year before.
The year before, they definitely did.
Yeah, and then Quinn Snyder is their new coach, who's I think is pretty good.
Well, so speaking of underperforming, and I know you can't wait to talk about this, but we talk about what's going on with the Bucks, and we got I think it's the coach.
Yeah, coach
Doc Rivers, and
it's just
then
the players are too old. There's not
Darvin
enough,
Ham.
There's not enough like hustle.
You got no depth. And
Yeah.
speaking of no depth, my New York Knicks are I wouldn't say extremely, but they're definitely underperforming. And
Yeah.
I know why. I know exactly why. I'm going to go on a little tangent here
Say it.
because
Say it.
shut up, bro.
Say it.
Shut. Mute this kid now. But no, we're back to my little tangent. I was talking about this with my dad literally this morning. The reason the Knicks are underperforming is because you got you got the Nova Knicks. You got Dante DiVincenzo, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart,
Yeah, the
That's
Celtics
the no-
ruined that right away.
Ryan Archidano, and then you had OG Anunoby. Now those aren't. I don't know why I said Archidano, but he's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Hasn't played professional ball, played professional ball in a while. But you have all these. You have great chemistry. That they're not. They might like a lot of players are friends on the court. Like they don't hang out.
Yeah.
But they were their best friends. Like that's probably the dream for a lot of basketball players out there. Play with your best friends, and they're doing that, and you have that, and they're doing really good. They almost made the conference finals. So maybe you think you need a change, but I think they changed, but in the completely.
It looks so funny.
I'm
Yeah.
still thinking about the mural. It's just funny.
I love to laugh. I'm a fun guy.
You're really not.
Yeah.
You're really not.
Well,
fun.
back
All
to
right,
back
what
to
was
the
it?
back to
The
the
Knicks
Knicks.
are ass.
They changed in the wrong, like the complete opposite.
That's my fault.
The complete opposite way. The reason we lost or we didn't do good is because we had no depth. You had Jalen Brunson running the court. The year before we had no stars. Jalen Brunson made himself a star.
What? Like
The Knicks,
Julius
the Knicks.
Randle? Like
We had no star players. Like no star players want to play in the Garden.
Jalen Brunson first signed.
Yeah, we have, and then he made himself a star. We have our centerpiece, Jalen Brunson, and then Julius Randle's going to get back into it. So
Yeah.
you're already excited for next year because we were injury, we had no depth. Now we have stars. Now it's a week before this season. Everyone's excited. We don't have Isaiah Hartenstein, so we'll get some good role playing free agents. We don't do that. We get our guys from the G
You got no
League.
money now. Signing, getting Cat, you literally have no money to spend anymore.
And then we're building up to it. Literally a week before the season, I think it was literally the day before school, it was like 2 weeks ago. This happened. Literally
What?
a couple days before the NBA season starts. I get the call from you, Carl Anthony.
yeah.
Carl Anthony Towns going to the Knicks. I'm like, yeah, what?
That was like the most unexpected trade ever.
And honestly, I love it. I love having Cat, but we did it in the complete. We went backwards because now we're back to having stars. We have stars and we had depth, but we didn't have stars and we had depth. Now Jalen Brunson's an established star coming into next year, and now you get rid of his chemistry. You get rid of Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. Forget about Randle. Randle's always hurt. Well, I'm not. We owe him a lot. I honestly think he was the most overrated man in New York. But Randle, he gave us a lot. He did exactly what he needed to do, and he played through injury. He was a guy that could take his lunchbox and put it down and work for the day.
What?
Sure, bro.
You've never heard that.
Stop saying these obscure phrases because it doesn't sound good.
He was a hard worker. He played his heart out. Maybe he was a little. Everyone said, "Oh, NBA players are lazy on defense." They're not. Julius Randle did what he had to do.
Well, this season he's lazy.
Yeah,
He
in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then you get rid of DiVincenzo, which ruins the Nova Knicks. We don't have our efficient 3-point shooter now. We don't have a 3-point shooter. We have a 3-point shooter, but we don't have it as efficient as Devo was. And now you're coming into the season, and you have Karl Anthony Towns, and you get Mikal Bridges. We picked up Mikal Bridges, which I forgot to talk about.
Yeah.
And you had Mikal Bridges and DiVincenzo. You literally had the Nova Knicks. A month later, you get rid of Dante DiVincenzo. Whatever. I said, you know what? I have faith in Thibs. I think we could do this. We're starting. I expected for us to go undefeated. Like not undefeated, but I expected us to have maybe 2 losses, and that would be the
By now,
Yeah.
lost it?
I expected us to be the Knicks are actually serious. And now we have no depth. You have Jalen Brunson shooting 20% from the field goal every night.
Well, I feel like for you, like you always get a player that does good, but you can't get the whole team to.
Yeah, we have.
perform
It's
as
either
good.
Jalen Brunson. Well, Jalen Brunson. I'm not even gonna say he's doing bad. He's doing good, but he's not efficient.
He's underperforming for what he showed
Yeah.
in the playoffs last year, dropping like 40s every game.
And now you have actually the second half of the year he was dropping. He was doing. Remember he put like 60 against
yeah,
the
he put
Spurs,
like I think 61.
and we still lost. And then
Oh,
Wemby ran away with the ball.
yeah.
But whatever. Now you don't have depth. You have Jalen Brunson, and he's shooting 30. Then Mikal Bridges, he's doing good. But what I've seen is when we win, we do great. Because that win against Indiana, we shot down Halliburton. And then I think it's just a lack, I wouldn't say lack of respect, but now that we're losing these cheap games, like we lost against the Rockets, we couldn't get a board in the last 5 minutes. We just we're blowing leads, and then you're losing against the Atlanta Hawks, which
Hawks.
yeah,
You get too many
Got-
players
Hawk-like.
were like the first option.
yeah, and then it's just now you're making us embarrassed because I don't know if you check social media, you probably did. Nick's Twitter, you have Trey Young. Oh yeah, New York fans, you could go home.
No,
And
I actually didn't see that.
that just makes me so mad because the one thing I don't like is sometimes especially because New York's always bad. We're just always the laughing stock. Like Mets, Jets, and Knicks. It just made me so mad. And then he's like, "Yeah, y'all can go home." When we've owned you the past 2 seasons, the only time you actually owned us was the playoffs, 2021 playoffs.
Seems a little personal. Like
It
he's
is
talking
personal.
To you.
It is personal. He's talking to me. He is talking to me. And just players that just make me mad. Like Trey Young. I don't know. You guys don't know Chase Utley.
Put it in an
No,
NFL term.
I don't know.
Like you
Who was
remember?
that?
So he was it was Mets Dodgers in 2015, and you know how they run into, you know how baseball works, right?
Yeah.
So the second baseman was here, and he was running in, and he just took the second baseman out and literally ruined the guy's life.
You're like Mr. Robinson. Like,
Yeah.
Just took his legs out.
Like his leg, he literally had he was in a wheelchair, not a wheelchair, but he broke both of his legs. He never played baseball again, and he was going to be really good. And he hates New York. He says he was just doing his job.
Yeah.
Which if I keep talking about it, I'm actually gonna
Crash out.
all right. I'm gonna be mad. But whatever. Talking about Trae Young, he's just he's not even good, bro. Like he's only good because he's on the Hawks and there's no one else.
Bro, really? So if you place him on any other team in the NBA, he's not gonna be
Hawks.
good.
You
Is that
put
what
him on
you're
any
saying?
team with a star, a set. Like if you put him on the Knicks, he's not doing anything. If you put him on a team that has an
'Cause they have
established star
Brunson.
piece, yeah. If you put him on,
if they change him for Brunson, then he's doing amazing.
yeah, but
He
they're
has
not
so
gonna.
many
You're not gonna
offensive
do
guys
that.
that can shoot threes. I mean, he has all the spacing in the world.
What I'm trying to say is Trae Young only put 20 up against us, which is good, but it's not good where you could be like, it's
Well,
not
that's
like
his job to score. His job is just like, if
His
he's
job-
open,
yeah.
he takes his job, but then his job is facility. He's the point guard.
But still, whatever. I just don't like Trae Young. I
can
just
tell.
don't
I
like
can
Trae
tell.
Young.
I can tell,
hate
bro.
him, bro.
We could.
Yeah, I just don't. But whatever. The Knicks don't have chemistry, and I think the season's still young. I still think we could salvage it, but if things don't change by Christmas, actually no, if things don't change by the end of the month, then I'll actually put the panic button on. Then I'll actually start.
That's too early.
No, because I think we should be contenders.
No,
Well,
guys
you
lost to
should,
the
but like
Pacers.
it's a process. You don't just like trade for a bunch of players like it's 2K and then you get 82 and
Yeah,
all.
but it is.
It's not 2K. This is not.
But I think honestly, this would have all been solved if we traded for Cat in July and we let him simmer in because we got him a week before the season, and this Knicks team is literally the power of friendship, all about chemistry.
Yeah.
So, but more to well, I don't know. The season's still young. We're only 3. Are we 3 and 4 or 3 and 5?
I
think it's
you're
3 and 4.
And you're like the 5th seed.
Yeah, if we win, if we didn't win a single
Everyone
game,
in the East is like underperforming except for the Cavs.
except for the Cavs. Speaking of the,
I mean, the Celtics, like every other team's like 7-2, or a couple other teams like 7-2, but like the Cavs are like the ones that actually stand out. so
yeah,
far
they're
this
they're
season.
undefeated.
And it's not even like anyone's like going like crazy. It's just that they're playing like a good
Yeah,
team. Like
Donovan Mitchell is having an MVP
he's-
season.
He's just scoring the ball with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. They're both playing like really good defense and scoring the ball when they can. And then Darius Garland, who facilitates the ball.
Yeah.
Gets off a couple threes, maybe like a layup here and there. But they're just playing really well as a team.
No, they're playing really good ball. Speaking of an MVP caliber season, obviously Donovan Mitchell's having that. I mean, if you've seen his shots, they're beautiful arc.
I haven't really watched a Cavs game too much.
Well, I'm using a really good, like, efficient website to watch all these games.
Yeah.
So
What are you pirating it? Oh my god! What are you, a pirate?
just get me kicked out of
Yeah,
school.
my dad talked to Verizon yesterday. You could tell them that too.
Yeah,
yeah.
Just get me
Cable
kicked out of
box and
school,
Giuseppe
bro.
Balsano's pirating
Giuseppe
NBA
Balsano's
games.
a pirate.
I'm all right.
Yo.
Arc.
I'm using League Pass. I'm using a free trial on League Pass.
Sure, buddy.
And whatever. I'm watching a lot of these Cavs games, and they're just doing really good. And speaking of an MVP caliber season, Paolo Banchero, most heartbreaking thing I think you're going to see all year.
He could have been
bro.
like the most improved player if he didn't get injured. He probably still
That-
could. He's only out for like a week or another week, like a month and a half. But still, that like ruins the Magic's momentum.
Yeah.
I believe they're like 1 or 2 losses during the season, and now since he's down, they're definitely gonna win or lose a lot more
Yeah.
games. So it's
And
a heartbreaker.
I want to. I'm like, these are just crazy stat lines. Like, you don't even have to watch basketball to know. Like, Patrick and Nick, they don't watch basketball,
Okay.
Yeah.
It tells me.
and like, I'm gonna read out these stat lines, and you're like, wow.
Give it to me straight, Doc.
All right, bro. All right. First off, he started October 23rd, 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists.
The
33 points. That's
one-
good. 11 rebounds is
11
good. He's a
okay.
point guard, and then 3 assists, whatever.
I could put up more rebounds.
No, you couldn't.
No, he could.
I
Yeah, actually
could.
could.
Basketball, you
exactly.
Him in his prime, bro.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
And then that's the season opener. Then you play against the Nets. You put up 15, whatever. He's going back to his regular self. That was a really good performance by him. He didn't put 16. October 28th, Indiana Pacers, 50 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
37,
Would have been. I think it
37
would have
in
been
the
the
first
That's, like, actually
first
wild.
half.
yeah. That would have been the youngest player to ever score a triple or something like that. Ever put up
One
a triple.
of the youngest, but he's like the top 10 youngest players to score 50.
And then I'm gonna make you guess. What do you think he put up up on his next game?
60,
All right,
64.
All right, so
Eh.
All right, 45.
No, he put up 31, 7, and 4, and that's imagine he put up 4 blocks.
I mean that's not enough.
Is that good?
No, not really. I mean it is
For
but
him.
In retrospect, it's really not.
And then he put 31, 7, and 4, and then he what did he tear his oblique? Yeah, tears his
Yeah,
right
he
oblique
tore it.
right
one of
before
them.
a really good game, which would have been game of the whole year, up to the beginning of the year. Orlando versus the Cavs, just heartbreaking. Honestly, if he kept maybe if he didn't put 30 and 50 up, if he averaged 23 points every game and he got the Magic to the 5 seed or the 3 seed or the 4 seed, that would have gave him the MVP. And now he's a what if player.
You think him averaging 23 will give him the MVP?
No, not 23, but you know what I mean.
If he just progressed,
not 23, if he puts up 23, 10 and 7 every game, if he's leading the Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover today, right?
He tore his oblique.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
Was he out for the season?
He's out for
No,
yeah.
he's out for like 2 months.
He's out?
But,
yeah.
yeah.
Amon St. Brown, his oblique was gone.
Wait, where's
yeah.
is that like right
Went
here,
for 50
like in your
dollars.
ribs
No,
or
it's
something?
it's down.
It's I think that's by
really?
your ACL.
Yeah.
Because when I tore my
yeah.
bruised my MCL.
We all know that.
But whatever. I think we've touched all the bases we
Yeah.
want to today. Thank you everyone for watching 5 Out Podcast. I've been Giuseppe.
I'm Cam.
I'm Nick.
Patrick.
And that's all
That's all,
all we have for today. Again, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Thank you all. Have a great day.